Saya, dear learners! How are you? Ma'am Nova here will guide you in your learnings in Science A. In our last lesson, you have learned how to plot the coordinates of the Philippine Area of Responsibility. Today, we are going to discover or find out how to track tropical cyclones that visited our country. But before we start, our most essential learning competency for this is trace the path of typhoons that enter the FAR using the map and tracking data. Our lesson is all about tracking a tropical cyclone. Here are some of the questions that you need to know or you need to ponder as we go along with this video lesson. First, where do you think would evaporation be greatest? Near equator or away from the equator? Second, how will you know that a tropical cyclone has entered the Philippine Area of Responsibility? And last but not the least question, which is better source of tropical cyclone? A water vapor, land masses, or an ocean? Let's try to find out. To make it easier for you to understand the lesson, the following terminologies were given with its description. Sana makatulong sa inyong pangunawa sa topic. First, we have tropical cyclone. So, what is a tropical cyclone? It is also called typhoon or hurricane, an intense circular storm that originates over warm tropical oceans and is characterized by low atmospheric pressure, high winds, and heavy rain. Next is Pag-asa, Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. So what is the work of Pag-asa? In 1972, the Philippine Atmospheric and Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or Pag-asa, in the Philippines was created to expand the warning systems for typhoons. Pag-asa provides flood and typhoon warnings, public weather forecast, and as well as advisories. Here we have the latitude. So what is a latitude? It is the measurement of distance north or south of the equator. An example would be the equator, which is at 0 degrees of latitude. Here you can see the globe showing its latitude. And at the same time, we have also the vicinity of the Philippine map showing its latitude represented by a horizontal line. It is the measurement east or west of the prime meridian. Longitude is measured by imaginary line that land around the Earth vertically, up and down, and meet at the north and south poles. Here is the globe representing by its longitude, and the vicinity of the Philippine map showing also its longitude represented by a vertical line. Next is water vapor. So what is a water vapor? A water vapor is a gaseous phase of water. Water vapor in ocean surface that needs to have a temperature of 26.5 degrees Celsius is one requirement for a typhoon to develop. So what we have here is the picture of the Philippine Area of Responsibility, or simply known as FAR. It is the smallest and innermost monitoring domain, whose boundary is closest to the Philippine Islands. The exact dimension of this domain are the area of the western North Pacific, bounded by imaginary lines connecting the coordinates 5 degrees north, 115 degrees east, 15 degrees north, 115 degrees east, 21 degrees north, 120 degrees east, 25 degrees north, 120 degrees east, then we have 25 degrees north, 135 degrees east, and 5 degrees north, 135 degrees east. The western boundary of the FAR is closer to the coastline of the country than the eastern boundary. The eastern FAR boundary is several hundred kilometers away from the nearest coastline in the eastern part of the country and completely encloses the East Philippine Sea. Tropical cyclones inside the FAR warrants the issuance of severe weather bulletin, the highest level of warning information issued for tropical cyclones. So next in line is a map showing the tracks of typhoons or tropical cyclones that had entered the Philippine Area of Responsibility in the past years. The tracks were plotted by Pag-asa. Let us study the maps and answer the following questions later. So as you can see, we have here 4 tracks of specific typhoons that had visited the country. Here we have the track of Typhoon Agaton way back 2002. Then here we have Typhoon Harurut in the year 2003. Then we have Typhoon Yoyong in 2004. Then last but not the least is Typhoon Waning way back 2005. So try to observe the tracks of each typhoon that had visited our country. Try to examine also its direction, to which direction does it move. So from Agaton, Harurut, Yoyong, and Waning. First question, where did the tropical cyclones form? In land or in ocean? Let us try to know. The answer is in ocean. Next question, in what direction did the tropical cyclone move? So going back to the figure, as I have shown a while ago, what did you observe? In what direction did the tropical cyclones move? The answer is in northwest direction. Next question. In which part of the Philippines is hit by the 4 tropical cyclones? The answer is northern part of the Philippines. So now, let us try to trace the path of tropical storm Sendong as it entered our Philippine area of responsibility way back 2011. Using this data, track the location of tropical storm Sendong. Refer to the month, day, time, column, and follow the sequence of locations. Plot the coordinates on the map provided in Figure 5. As you can see here, you have the data of tropical storm Sendong way back December 2011. So these are the following coordinates represented by its latitude as well as its longitude. And here on the second figure is the map of the Philippine area of responsibility showing its plotted coordinates of tropical storm Sendong. So let us try to check. So on December 13, it was 6.40 degrees north latitude and 143.30 degrees east longitude. So let us try to trace where is that coordinates located. So ito siya. Itong unang plotted coordinates na ito. Next is December 14. It was 5.90 degrees north latitude and 140.60 degrees east longitude. So if we try to look at it, this is that plotted coordinates. Ito yung pangalawang ating plotted points. Next, December 14, also, it was 6.70 degrees north of latitude and 137.70 degrees east of longitude. So, where is that? So, ito yung point na ito, yung pangatlo. Next is December 15. It was 7.20 degrees north of latitude and 134.30 degrees east of longitude. So, eto na siya. Okay? And by December 15 also, it moves at about 7.70 degrees north latitude and 130.80 degrees east of longitude. So, ito na siya. Okay. Itong point na yan. And then, we have December 16. It was 7.40 degrees north latitude and 128.10 degrees east of longitude. So, ito na siya. Okay. Next, the same day, December 16, it was 8.40 degrees north of latitude and 125.50 degrees east of longitude. Okay, so eto na siya. And then, On December 17, it was in 9.10 degrees north of latitude and 122.40 degrees east of longitude. Okay, and then on the same day, it was 9.60 degrees north of latitude and 120.40 degrees of degrees east of longitude. Okay, and then during December 18, it was 10.90 degrees of north of latitude and 117.60 degrees east of longitude. So, eto na yung point na yan, plotted points na yan. And then, on the 18th also of December, it was located at 9.90 degrees north of latitude and 114.60 degrees east of longitude. So, ito na siya. Yan. Plot na yan. And last but not the least was during December 19, it was at its 9.10 degrees north of latitude and 112.90 degrees east of longitude. So, eto na siya. Okay? So, if we have to look at its clearer view of the scenario of Tropical Storm Sendong, let us try to look at this next figure. So here is a clearer map of Tropical Storm Sendong. Here it shows a clear track or path of Sendong. In what part of the Philippines was hit by Tropical Storm Sendong? By looking at it, internationally named Washi made a landfall in Mindanao on December 16, 2011. Yan. Kung mapapansin natin, nandito siya. Mindanao yung kanyang tinamaan. At ito yung unang typhoon na tumama sa Mindanao. Kasi ang Mindanao ay hindi naman kadalasan na natatamaan ng bagyo. A US NASA reported a day before the storm struck said Sendong was carrying almost the same volume of rainwater that Storm Ondoy dumped in Metro Manila in 2009. It was the world's deadliest storm of the year, killing more than 1,200 people and leaving 182 others missing. Sendong devastated 7 regions in the southern Philippines, leaving more than 2 billion pesos damages. So here is another map which also shows a track of Tropical Storm Oring in February 17 of 2021. This is latest typhoon that had entered our country. Ngayong taon lang ito, noong February. Looking at its initial position, so tingnan natin kung saan yung kanyang initial position. It was in February 17, 2021. That was Wednesday at 2 a.m. So, this is the point coordinate. So, as you can see it, hindi pa siya nakapasok sa Philippine Area of Responsibility or PAR. So, when does it enter the PAR? It was in the 18th of February 2021, Thursday. So, kinabukasan, nakapasok na siya sa Philippine Area of Responsibility. So, as you can see on its track, ayan. So, saan papunta ang kanyang direction? It is, again, northwest. Okay. Tropical storm O-ring stays in our vicinity for about 6 days as it goes to the northwest direction. Ayan. Okay. We have learned something from our short discussion today. But before I end up this lesson, let us try to answer the short exercises I have prepared. Are you ready? Let's check it out. All you need to do is to answer whether a fact or a bluff. If it's correct, of course, you have to answer fact or bluff if it's not. Are you ready? Let's try the first question. Tropical cyclones originates in blank. Is it a fact or a bluff? Let's try. Yes, it is a bluff. Why? Because tropical cyclones originates in oceans. Next question. Sendong has an international name, Washi. Is it a fact or a bluff? That's 3. Okay. Yes, it's correct. It is a fact. Third question. Philippine Area of Responsibility tracks the typhoons that enter our country. Is it a fact or a bluff? Let's see. It's a bluff. Why? Because it is the Pag-asa that tracks the typhoons that enters our country. Fourth question. Tropical cyclones in the Philippines generally move in northwest direction. Is it a fact or a bluff? Yes, it is a fact. Last but not the least question. According to scientists, ocean water must be 26.5 degrees centigrade or greater in order for a cyclone to develop. Is it a fact or a bluff? Let's see. Okay, it is a fact. Hope you enjoyed the short exercises which I have prepared for you. Before I end up this video lesson, here is a life quote from Pastor Jimmy Duran for you to reflect on, which says that storms come and go, and with every passing storm, there is a new lesson to glean from. That would be all for this day. God bless everyone and see you in our next video lesson. Bye!